Hi, 2 minutes. So to finish up this astrology reading, we're now looking at the progressions using Magi astrology. And so now we're going to go into the geocentric progressions. You probably can't see this too well, but in the early part of the Bible, the Old Testament, it says a day for a year and a year for a day. So right now when we look at the progressions, this is the bigger picture of astrology in terms of prediction and what's energy is happening in your life. And actually business, anything to do with business actually should be, with the Neptune trine Ceres, should be, pretty good, pretty beneficial, pretty strong. Although in this period there can be some element of kind of rumors, actually, some kind of notoriety, some feeling of, infamy, or kind of getting bad fame or something like that. At the same time, that should be over October 4th of 2013. But you've got a very positive, lucky progression of Sun quincunx Jupiter, which should last all the way into July 8th of 2013. However, you've got a Sun quincunx Saturn running at the same time, which means you have to be careful about some element of bad luck at the same time. But also some sort of self-destructiveness or some sort of self-created problems or crises or things like that. So that ends March 19, 2013, that particular progression. You've got a nice, Sun, 30 degrees Juno during this period. But those are some of the more important progressions that you have at this time. But the Sun quincunx the Sun quincunx Jupiter and Sun quincunx Saturn, it actually makes a focal point to your Sun. It's like a combination of both luck and bad luck, or positivity and negativity. So the most important thing is to remember not to be involved in self-destructiveness or do things that could, you have to have a better sense of judgment in that period, especially regarding the Saturn quincunx Sun progression. And again, that will end March 19, 2013. So this is a mixture of energies that you've got going on. And I can wonder about the Sun opposition Uranus, which goes on to October 2013. Because the Saturn Sun ends in March 2013. So you just have to be careful to be really thinking through decisions and not to be involved in things that can cause you ill reputation or harm, or to take unnecessary risks in those periods that I just mentioned of the Saturn quincunx Sun and the Uranus opposition Sun. In heliocentric sky, you do have a Mars opposition Chiron and Mars opposition Venus. The Mars opposition Chiron progression goes all the way into February 25th, 2016, so you have to be careful until then about confrontations, being confrontational, miscarriages, or accidents. So this is an energy that you have to learn to be more calm. If you get hasty or angry or confrontational, you could go a little bit overboard with that, or you could in haste have some sort of an accident or upset or even miscarriage. So you have to be careful with that energy until February 25th, 2013. With the Venus opposition Mars, that progression ends April 29th, 2013. This can also indicate divorce if you were married. It's the kind of energy that will provoke you to be a little bit more cautious with spending, with expenditures in general, with money. It's part of a T-square that's forming right now, because actually the Chiron is conjunct Venus, and that's being opposed by Mars, but it's being teed off in a T-square with a Mercury conjunct Pallas. So again, not making decisions out of anger, not making decisions out of haste, being careful not to be too quick to make decisions regarding family, money, or career in this period, and to watch for the unexpected or sudden moves that you're wanting to make out of anger and not thinking clearly because of angry thoughts or angry words, whether it's from you or somebody else, would be paramount in the time ahead. Those could be turbulent areas for you to watch for. And again, the Mars opposition Chiron all the way into February 25th, 2016, and the Venus opposition Mars all the way into April 29, 2013, which at time this T-square actually at the earliest they start to break in February 2013, or yeah, even as early as, with Mercury being involved, as early as May 29, 2012. So just a short time, actually less than a week as far as Mercury's involved in this, and then it'll just be a palace. So just the thinking, speaking, and logic involved with making quick decisions, or out of anger, or out of judgments, out of haste, or with angry words, or in response to angry words. So that'll lessen up a little bit here in just 2 weeks actually, but the palace is going to continue to be a part of that T-square for almost another year, into February 26, 2013. So those are a couple of things to remember. There is a Pluto quincunx Venus. This can be some power or obsession with or love of money or power itself. It can also contribute a little bit to fine art, to fine music, to food. It can be some element of power or strength in terms of banking or finance, or also issues of love or money in that sense. So overall, that's an interesting set of progressions that you have. Now I'm going in to find out where you have any heartbreak transits, and taking a quick look at that. And I'm not using midpoints. Midpoints going to take quite a bit longer than what I have left on this recording for today and time to do. But just looking at Saturn applying to Chiron, which makes what we call in Magi astrology heartbreak transits. I'm seeing now that you have the, let's see, in the past, yeah, your year late to October 2nd, 2007 on into June 19, 2008 would have been a heartbreak period for you, peaking out March 15th, 2008. So that period of October 2007 into a peak out at March 15, 2008 and June 19, 2008, and that would have been what could be a heartbreak year for you in the past. But in looking forward, it looks like, the period of this year coming up in November, around November, the first week of November and the second week of November, all the way into November 19th, actually extend that into the 21st, you have a Saturn quincunx Chiron, both in geocentric sky and heliocentric sky. So that's kind of a harsh heartbreak transit that ends. It could play out in terms of love, money, or friendship, in terms of heartache. So that particular period of maybe some weeks or months before then, in that time of coming up in, that's going to be ending in the first week and the third week of November 2012. You just want to be more patient, not make any quick or rash decisions during that period, because that is what we call the heartbreak transit that's peaking out or ending. It's in its strongest power in that period, coming up in November, in terms of it's peaking out, it's ending then. And right now I'm kind of trying to see if it's a very long transit, and in looking at your transits right now, I do see that, it's as far back as October 19th in heliocentric sky. I'm going back to September. And so it's there in September as well. September 19th. I'm going to go back to August and see if it's there. And yeah, it's there on August 19th. So all the way from at least, yeah, sometime here, it looks to be, I'm tracking forward. It looks to be that in all the way from August about what appears to be about